All right, it's 5:30. Time to call the meeting of Russellville School Board of Education to order. The media has been notified. If you're not from Russellville, we just want to say welcome. If you would, stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm going to ask Chrissy Clayton to come up to recognize our RSD Teachers of the Year by building.
I am honored to recognize a group of teachers who are absolutely fabulous in our district. We have the cream of the crop, the best of the best, and at the Center for the Arts, we celebrate all the things, and so I'm glad to get to celebrate these teachers with us tonight. If you'll come and make your way to the front. From Center Valley, Miss Ashley Dickey, she's a first grade teacher. From Still White Elementary, Melanie Kelly, she's a second grade teacher. From Russellville Junior High, Jenny Wilkins, 9th grade geometry and algebra teacher. Russellville High School, Ethan Hodge, computer science. Russellville Middle School, Tyler Daly, 7th grade science. Russellville Intermediate, Kay Dickey, 5th grade social studies. Sequoia Elementary, Vandy Moore, 1st grade teacher. London Elementary, Kathy Steffi, counselor. Crawford Ashton Wynn, 1st grade teacher. And Oakland Heights, Kara Wilson, 4th grade teacher. Miss Samantha is going to grab a picture of all of you. These teachers will all be recognized in front of our entire body of classified and certified staff on Thursday at 3, and among them, our RSD Teacher of the Year will be recognized. They do a fabulous job, and we're so proud of all of you. Thank you for all you do for our district.
As one of those great teachers said, good teachers like to teach with good teachers. So we appreciate you guys, and it's an honor to have teachers like you in our district, so thank you. All right, next up is information. I'll ask Judy Pennington to come up, give the RSD employee presentation.
Yes. Okay, I have some personnel information for everyone tonight to show patterns from the last 5 years of trends with our staff. Oh, I have a clicker. Sorry, Thomas. Okay, so we're going to go over certified staff first, and then we'll do classified staff and show the resignations and retirements from the last 5 years. So this chart might be hard to read, but if you start at the top, that's 21 to 22 school year. So we broke down all the resignations and retirements into an elementary, secondary, district level, or administrative position, and then totaled them over on the side. So as you can see from 21-22 so far, we have, oh, hold on one second. Okay, Mr. Rice, this is not the updated one. Can you see if the Google Slides I sent you have updated? This is as of last week, as of 5/9, but we do have some more resignations since then. So I'll go ahead and go over this though. So 21-22, we had 37. Right now, I think we're at 48. So this should go up from May 9th. And then 2021, you can see we were at 67. The year before that, 37. The year before that, 65, and then before that, 57. So even with our additional resignations that will show up in just a minute, we're still within the trend from the last 5 years that's pretty normal of how much turnover we have. On this graph, this will show this is just a bar graph representation of that table. So the 2021-22 school year would go up over around to 48 currently. But as you can see, it's still comparable to the last 5 years. Excuse me. Oh. Mr. Rice, just give me the cue and I should click again. Okay? Perfect. Okay. Oh. Okay, classified. Thank you. Okay, so this is the classified resignations 5-year trend. This is retirements and resignations again. So this one starts with 2017 at the top, and we had 42 for the whole year, and then down to 21-22, we are at 54 currently. So again, you can see we're right in where we usually are with turnover for classified staff in the last 5 years. Okay, this chart will show that those numbers showing 21-22 is at 54 compared to the last 5 years there. And then looking at combining the certified and classified together, we have 91, that's actually 98. So again, the certified should be up more, but I know it's 98 because I just looked at it. So we have 98 total resignations for classified and certified for this current school year. If you want to see it in a comparison here of the bar graph, you can see classified is the darker blue and certified is the lighter blue. And so again, we are pretty much where we usually are with turnover, a little bit lower than most of the years. And this is as of tonight, like the ones who would go on the board meeting tonight. Okay, some staffing efficiency moves that we have made this school year as we've been evaluating all vacancies to ensure that we have the most efficient and effective staffing we can to help our students. All of our classes in 5th through 12th grade have 15 to 25 students to just ensure that we are utilizing all of our staff as much as possible. There are 10 certified staff vacancies that we did not have to rehire because after we looked at those efficiencies, we were able to absorb those through attrition. 2 of those were in elementary, K through 4th grade, and 10 of those were in secondary grades 5 through 12, or 8 of those, 10 total. For classified staff, we did develop a staffing ratio for those K-4 buildings for our parapros and teachers so that we can make sure we have efficiency and make it equitable in every building for how many teachers versus parapros that they have. So we did transfer 6 employees to vacant positions. And as classified positions come open, just like certified, we are evaluating each one to see what is needed and what we need to do. Last, I want to talk about our exit interview that we started, I think, last fall. And we moved to an online form, an e-form on PowerSchool Records. So as staff turn in their resignation or retirement e-form, they're then asked to complete an exit interview e-form. And on that e-form, they have questions. I'm going to show you just a minute, but they have the option at the end to request a face-to-face interview if they would like to talk further about anything, so that us as a district, we can work on growing and supporting to retain those teachers and staff. You cannot see that at all, but basically just ask their name, their title, what building they're in, and then to check box the main reasons why they're leaving. And we listed out every reason that we could think of that most staff would want to leave a district, such as moving or retirement or needing to help at home, or it could be pay, it could be frustration. So they can check multiple boxes on this one. And then they also have, if there's an other box, and they can write out their reason. We have a question that says, what could RSD have done to keep you, if anything? And please give RSD any suggestions you have for improvement in both recruiting and retaining high-quality employees. And the last question asks them if they would like to speak to me face-to-face to talk further, to give any more details. So I'm expecting to give a report on that in June after most of the turnover has kind of finished, so that we can pull all that data and have some good patterns to be able to go over with the board. You guys have any questions?
Have we implemented the exit interview yet?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Has
we've
it
been doing them. Mm-hmm.
Successful? I know there was some question whether anybody would.
Oh yeah, lots of people have.
Awesome.
Not every single person has, but yes, so we have the majority for sure. And I'll know the exact number when I present that in June.
Awesome. It's vital for getting better.
Feedback, yep.
Improving.
Okay,
Any
thank
other
you.
questions? All right, moving on. Thank you, Ms. Pennington. Moving on to memorandum of understanding, the ATU concurrent credit for 22-23 and career coaches 22-24. Welcome, Ms. Mary Beth.
Thank you, Mr. Keister. Okay, I'm here to talk to you all about an exciting partnership between Russellville School District and Arkansas Tech University. The governor recently launched a pilot workforce development program for the River Valley. This grant will completely fund the salaries, benefits, and training of 3 career coaches that will serve K-12 students in the Russellville School District. These career coaches will assist in many ways, including working with the ongoing student success plans, providing career exploration opportunities, and maintaining quality partnerships between all stakeholders. RSD has also been working with the Chamber's Inspire River Valley initiative this year by providing speakers to students at the junior high and creating relationships between the school and employers. We had our little exit conference the other day, and we have some great ideas for continuing that for this next year. One of the one of the Chamber's Inspire River Valley goals is to link students to in-demand career paths through virtual and in-person career experiences with business and industry. The Ready for Life platform is available for everyone. It contains career descriptions, employment opportunities, career resources, and LinkedIn learning videos. It's free to create an account, and I encourage you all to explore this site. This all came about when the governor came to Cyclone Arena in December to announce this initiative, and so he wanted it to begin here in the River Valley. So, I look forward to providing additional information as this partnership emerges, and we have our career coaches in place, and what a wonderful opportunity for our students and our community. You all have questions about this?
Any questions?
Yeah.
Morgan?
So if I understood you right, this is starting at Russellville,
Yes.
statewide, this is the first place.
Yeah, this is where he actually put this is a piece of it, but he announced a $4.2 million allocation to Arkansas Tech, but this is just one piece of that.
Do you know why Russellville School District and Arkansas Tech was targeted for this?
I don't know why. I think because it's a great place.
I just didn't know what went into the decision-making by the governor.
Were you at that chamber
I was not.
event?
Not that one.
Okay.
I was there.
You were there, Mr. White? So do you remember why he chose us?
Well, I think the great relationship we have with Arkansas Tech, first place, is one of the things, in the fact that they have ATU Ozark, which is a very career-centered
Right.
part of their school, and it fit in good. We have the Career and Technical School on our campus at the high schools, and we already had a real good initiative going with our business and industry in the area. So I think we were a real good fit, and again, reputation of all of the above. I think just that it's a pilot, I would say, more or less. If it works, they'll take it somewhere else, but I would think it'd be very good. I'm thankful they chose us.
I am too, and I'm really hopeful that we can continue. Dr. McDonald and I have been in several meetings and working with the chamber as well, going to the council meetings, and so really excited about the partnerships.
So where I was going with that was I was hoping someone would state that. I kind of knew the answer, but I think that's attributable to administration, to y'all and the teachers for putting all this together. And I think, it's not a direct reward, but at least it's a acknowledgement of the effort that all of y'all put out every day. It's pretty impressive.
Thank you. Thank you.
I want to plug the Inspire River Valley. I'm part of that initiative too. I'm one of the mentors, and for City Corporation, and we got called by Center Valley, and we went to Center Valley for their career fair day, and it was so much fun. But they always need mentors, so anybody reach out, especially teachers. You may have a young student that wants to become a teacher and they want to talk to somebody, so everybody encouraged Just go sign up. It's on the chamber website.
We look forward.
Awesome, thank you. All right, next item for consideration is the consent agenda.
Mr. President,
Oh,
did I miss number 3? Did that happen?
No, we skipped it.
Okay. I didn't, 3 is consider approving the addition of addendum items.
no.
Do we have addendum?
You already had them, we didn't have to add any.
We have no addendum.
No
Okay.
addendum.
But it
No,
was
no,
on here.
yeah, no
So-
addendum items.
okay.
Appreciate you asking. So the next item to consider is the consent agenda. Want to pull, if no objectives, objections, want to pull item number J for further research and understanding. Any other items that need to be pulled or discussed? Also, got a message, speak into your mics, Wesley and Morgan. All right, would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Holly's made a motion, can I get a second?
I'll second.
All right, Wes, second. Vote, Wynn,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Hall,
Yes.
Jackamore,
Yes.
Keister is yes, Golden's absent. Unanimous. And Melissa, make sure that J is pulled from that, please. All right, next item on the agenda is consider approval of financial report for period 10. Dr. McDonald?
I recognize Mr. Robertson.
All right, let's take a look at period 10. It's, as you see on your sheet, there's not many notes, but I like that, so it's pretty quiet. Teacher salary fund, we ended with a difference of $443,347. Our operating fund ended up $222,125. Debt service, you can see that's remained the same for a few months. It's up the difference of $884,195. Once again, that's just the refunding that we've had, especially the largest bond we had. That's partly savings and partly pushing the payments off until the next school year. Legal balance, which is funds 1, 2, and 4, we ended up $662,972 from the above differences. Our building fund, we ended with the difference of being up $1,259,448. Capital outlay, we ended up $719,647. I always like to note on your sheets, we have about $98,000 worth of encumbered expenses of the $1.8 million. Federal grants, we ended with a difference of $2,769,320. That's based on timing. They did a clearinghouse where they pulled the numbers May 12th, I believe, so we should be getting those real soon, I hope. Food service, we ended with a difference of being up $697,160, and that has remained consistent, which is amen to that. That's period 10.
Thanks, Justin. Any questions for Justin or Jenny?
Yeah.
Donald?
On the building fund,
Yes.
that balance, is it dedicated for projects, summer projects, or what is?
The whole fund itself? Or
the balance that's in there right now, are those funds dedicated?
They're not dedicated. There's 600 and some odd change, 650,000 that goes to the QZAB that we have to put over there. Once that's paid off, that will go out. The rest of it is not dedicated as of right now. But it is for building projects or for summer, yeah, or any large projects in the future. So
Do we have a list of summer projects that we're planning on doing?
we do. Mr. Holt actually has those and listed out, so he'll.
All right, could I entertain a motion to approve the financial report for period 10?
Make a motion to approve the financial report in period 10.
Thanks, Mr. White. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Ms. Wynn. Wynn,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Yes.
Hall, Jackamore,
Yes.
Keister, yes. Golden absent. All right, next item to be considered approval is the year-end bonus for RSD contracted employees for 2021 and 22 school year. Dr. McDonald?
Mr. Keister, I recognize Mr. Justin Robertson.
All right, do I need to stand over there to do that?
Yeah, it'd probably be better.
Oh,
You want me to adjust your mic?
You got a step stool? No. Part of Dr. McDonald's onboarding and learning the history of Russellville and the current situation, and really in conjunction with Ms. Pennington's study of efficiency, she kind of wanted a picture of what the history was of the base teacher salary in Russellville. And so we put this together to kind of show a visual, because it's always better to see this as opposed just to read it or hear about it. So what we've done is we put a chart together for the last 10 years of the teacher salary fund, the base teacher salary schedule. And we just did the base, but also what we kind of wanted to also throw in was, teacher compensation. My previous job was legislative audit, and so we looked at lots of different schools. And one thing Russellville is known for is they give bonuses, and they give good bonuses. And so what we want to do is lump in together to kind of show what a teacher's compensation would have been for the last 10 years. As you can see, they've been consistent, as far as the bonuses. We go back 10 years. I'm sorry, I also want to note on 2021, last 2 years, I got asterisks there because it shows that also includes the ESSER funds, whether it be the pandemic pay or retention and recruitment bonuses that we paid. But as you can see, the last 10 years, it looks really good as far as, the ones in green, that's where our base salary went up. The ones over in the bonus column, you can see there's not a column that has 0 in it. So we've given one every year for the past 10 years. Actually given one I think there's only been 1 year that they haven't given one that I'm aware of. So what we did was, like I said, we showed what the base teacher salary would be from 10 years ago up until now, so 36 up to 40. You got the bonus history there. I'd like to note also that if you did the average of the last 10 years of those bonuses, you're looking at it's $813. So you've consistently given if you average that out, $800 in bonuses. So with that said, with those included in there, it ranges from 37 to 42. You can barely see the bottom. And of course, this is just a visual. I kind of like this in the sense that it's always going up. It's not going down. So, we got one little mark there on 2016 as far as the bonus. It was a little lower, but as far as everything else, it's consistently going up. That was the bachelor's. What we've also done is shown what the master's side of it looks like. Once again, the bonus column is going to be the same. The master's, ranges from 10 years ago of 39 to now it's at 42. Once again, adding in the bonuses and the salaries, gets a total column, which, goes from 39 up to 44, almost 45 for this current year. I'll go ahead. I was going to come back to that, but I'll do it now. Part of that, and it's also on the second slide we went to, of the 2250, that includes, last semester we give the 750 retention bonus. We're also going to give that again, which comes out in June. Barring approval, what we want to do is go ahead and add in and match this semester's retention bonus with an operating bonus of 750. So that's where the 2250 comes into play. Once again, that's just another picture. And so we just kind of threw this in there as an FYI also. This is what it looks like if you were a teacher year 1 back then versus if you were a teacher on step 12, 12 years experience. It just shows the ranges of 10 years ago and what they would be currently. I don't know how long to let you go. And so what we also, with PPC, what we decided to do is come up with a visual of a timeline. And so, Dr. McDonald, this does not take away, the raises and stuff not take away the necessity plus our desire to increase teacher salaries. So what we've just come up with is a visual really for PPC and anybody, so we know what's going on, of what the timeline is for the next year. We want to take time to evaluate that. We just passed a classified salary schedule that we're going to work into and see how that affects for next year. So we want to take time also to see, take that one and to see what can we do for the certified schedule. As you can see, you can't really read that, but June through August, Dr. McDonald has felt it best for each group within the organization to have training to really figure out the flow information from the bottom, flowing it all the way up to an agenda item on the board, also policy, everything. You know, everybody's going to get training, and I think it's a good thing. It's also going to allow us to, you know, we just passed the classified salary schedule, so that's going to allow us to see how that affects the budget, you know, for the next year once we get into that. It's also going to allow us to get more into the efficiency piece, because this is that time of year where, you know, people move, come in, retire. So that's going to allow us to evaluate that. September through December, that's just going to be, you know, we have to get through, you always hear me say 2 big pieces of our financing is going to be the kid count and assessment. So we're going to get through September. Our task is to come up with scenarios, you know, what we would like to do, whether it be for a 1-year plan, a multi-year plan, of what we'd like to do to see where our salaries, you know, where we want to go, based on what we think we can afford. So we're going to create those. We're going to, you know, be visiting between now and then. Come January through February, we're going to have our assessment for the year, which is one big piece. It's also going to allow us 6 months of ADM to see where we stand as far as how many kids we have. Our third quarter average, which is what we get funded on, you know, we're up 120 kids, so amen to that. But it's going to allow us to come up with the scenarios, meet with PPC, get their input. It's also going to allow us to, you know, like I said, have more of our numbers firmed up, or, you know, estimates, more time into those. And then come March, once we figure out the best path, come March, we're going to hopefully bring those before y'all after we have input and have we, you know, meet over it, kind of chew on it. So that's what I've got. You got any questions or?
Questions?
Yeah. I think it'd be interesting to take a look at, you know, we saw several trends, but I'd like to see a trend of our revenues for the past 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And probably compare that to a normalize it to the increase, basically compared to the Social Security index increase. You know, last year was a 6.5. They're projecting an 8.9% this year.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think we're going to be constantly chasing salaries. And on that slide, it had 3 greens where we adjusted the base. And where I'm going with that is, I mean, instead of looking at every 5 years at a base increase, would it be easier to absorb a annual cost of living somewhat tied to the Social Security index increase? And if we, you know, and that's why I'd like to see that compared to the annual revenue normalized to the Social Security index,
Mm-hmm.
to see if it's growing at the same rate. Our revenues, you know better than anyone, are stable, but they don't grow rapidly.
Mm-hmm.
They probably take steps, since some of it's tied to the assessment, some of it's tied to the ADM. So,
Mm-hmm.
or is that ADM?
ADM, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that'd be an interesting comparison.
It would. I think it would be. I think because by factoring that in, you also got to factor in the step, you know, the 530. Because a lot of times that CPI, if it's 3%, that step is usually covering the CPI. So everything we give bonus-wise or increase is usually above and beyond. This year and last year is very different, you know, as far as those numbers.
That step is primarily covering the cost of living increase.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessarily a,
In the past, yes.
yeah.
Mhm.
And
So-
we adjust it, historically, it looks like every 5 years or so, instead of an annual increase.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. It would be interesting.
I have a question about the bonuses.
Mhm.
As a recently retired teacher from Russellville, I have a lot of admiration for the teachers that have stayed here a long time in Russellville. And when this last bonus for this year is $2,250, and when you add that on to someone's salary, if a teacher is looking at retirement, they look at that total, do they not?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, I thought you said that one day.
That's why we wanted to include that. This is what we reported to teacher retirement.
So their
Yes.
salary that is on the salary schedule would not be what teacher retirement is looking at. They're going to be looking at also the $2,250 added on to their,
Correct.
for their last however many years how they figured that out.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Which I think is a good thing.
I agree.
Justin, thanks for all your hard work. I know you and Judy and Dr. McDonald have been working at that. Obviously, we want, as Morgan said, continue to make that right and not chase numbers. So, anyway, all right, so entertain a motion to approve year-end bonus for the RSD contracted employees for 21-22 school year.
I make a motion, approve.
Go ahead.
Thanks, Don.
I'll second.
All right, there's a vote. Wynn,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Hall,
Yes.
Jackamore.
Yes.
Jeremy is a yes. Jason's absent.
He's a yes, too.
What's that?
He's a yes.
He's a yes. He definitely is a yes. All right, next item on the agenda is to consider approval of policy. We've actually got two actions to be taken under this. Dr. McDonald?
I recognize Ms. Pennington.
Hello again. Would you like me to go into any of these, or do you want me just to be available to answer questions for you?
I think we covered it yesterday, but if there's any questions, we'll take those.
Okay.
Motion to approve A through E.
Oh, I did. I separated E out. That'd be the two actions. These here are the policies we discussed yesterday, and then the E is the salary schedule.
Motion to approve A through D.
Got it. We got a motion to approve A through D by Mr. Barrett,
Second.
second by Mr. White. Okay, for a vote, Wynn?
Yes.
Can we, excuse me,
Oh,
can we have a discussion?
Absolutely,
Yes.
On that? Thank you.
absolutely. Sorry about that, Don.
The only thing that I want to say is on the policy 3.13, you got the PPC draft proposal and you got the 3.13 administrative proposal. What hit me on Justin's,
Hey, Don, that's not included in this motion. I've moved E over to a second action so we can have discussion.
C is
So,
3.1.3.
okay, gotcha.
So what is it?
No, he's asking about
He
C
said A,
here.
A through D. is what we
Certified
just
hiring practice, you want to pull that
voted
one
on.
up?
Voted
Or
on.
talk about that one?
Sure. Mr. Rice, can you pull up the 3.13? Next page. Right there. That's the one Mr. Jackamore's talking about. Is that what you'd like to pull up? You want the administration proposal or the PPC proposal?
Both.
Okay.
I mean, it's
That
just-
actually is,
Did you move that to E?
yeah,
I
we
think our
moved.
agendas are different. I
Oh.
think that's probably why.
That's right, so, consider approving revision to policy 3.19, certified hiring practices. So, Don, just to clarify, yeah,
All right, I didn't have updated.
Yeah.
Okay.
sorry about
So
that.
E will be,
3.13. Okay.
yes.
I'm with you.
So we're pulling that.
It's just a second item we'll have its own action. So A is approving a revision to 3.33.1, special assignments. B is policy 3.33.3, weighted stipends. C is considering approving revision to policy 3.19, certified hiring practices. And D is revision to policy 8.13, classified hiring practices. Those were the four we reviewed yesterday, Don.
Okay.
All right, so we've got a motion by Barrett, second by White. If there's not any more discussion on that action, we'll take a vote. Wynn?
Yes.
Barrett?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Hall?
Yes.
Jackamore?
Yes.
Keister is a yes. Is absent. Unanimous. All right, now, the second item on here is the salary schedule presented by administration. Dr. McDonald.
I recognize Ms. Pennington.
Okay, that's the one that's up here. And if Mr. Jackamore, would you like me to start looking at the administration proposal first or the PPC proposal?
I've already reviewed it.
Okay, well, I'm ready to answer any questions if you have any.
I just got concerns is what I've got. on the PPC draft proposal and the administrative proposal, like I was saying, the PPC met and they came up with and recognized the changes that they're comfortable with. The problem, kind of what I have is what Justin was talking about, a timeline and a plan. I would like to see a plan in place before we make decisions on increasing our administrative positions, so we can get a whole view of what next year is going to look like. We're going to be hit with a lot of extra cost in these schools. We've not seen budget yet to see what we're up against, and if we have an overall plan of the whole district with cost, salaries, and staff, I think it'd be best just to, like I said before, to kind of put it on hold until we have a full plan in place so we can take care of our teachers first.
Is there any other discussion? Questions?
Well, is there an interest in increasing administrative positions?
We're not increasing the number of administrators in the district.
Well, I've got 10 on the PPC draft proposal, and then I've got 11 positions on the certified, on the administration proposal.
The administrative proposal has multiple people in the assistant to the superintendent, one line, whereas on the PPC proposal, we broke that out into the 3 directors and executive director. But it's the same number of administrative positions.
Well, I've asked this before. We don't have a dollar amount, and I know that you can't really put a dollar amount on it because you don't know who you're going to hire on these positions, but you can have a range so we can see what the administrative cost is compared to our teachers. And I'm just big on teaching teachers. They're the ones that are front line that deal with our kids day in and day out, and I want to be their voice and let them be heard, and I want them being taken care of. And I think it's all a big picture of the whole plan that I would like to see in place. That's just my thoughts.
Thank you, Mr. Jackmore. Any other discussion or questions? Good. I entertain a motion to approve the policy 3.1.3 as presented by administration.
I do have another question. This policy, does it affect any further action we're taking tonight
Yes, for personnel.
for personnel? And so we would need to pass it tonight to
That would-
have the plan in place for next year.
Yes.
But you're not, I mean, and you are going to evaluate the next. Your plan is to evaluate and then come up with a detailed plan after you do the evaluation for the year. I understand, I mean, I see both sides of it. It's kind of hard to have a plan whenever you're in an evaluation period, trying to figure out which direction to go. I'm with Dawn that I like seeing plans, obviously. I wish it was better spelled out, but I don't think that's something we can ask of you this early just yet. So kind of in the middle.
I'll make the motion to approve 3.1.3.
Presented by administration.
Yes.
Got a motion, Mr. White? Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any other discussion?
Do we have to take action on both policies?
Yes, you can approve this one, and then you could basically have to reject the other one, even though it's a harsh
So
term.
both do require action.
Yes, and the same thing on the 3.33.3. There was 2 versions of that one as well.
The 3.1 and,
With the weighted stipends, there was a difference in the number of days on the one PPC got to see, and then we had to change it.
is that C?
It is B.
Okay.
So what we were approving was the PPC revision on 3.33.
You didn't specify on that one.
But that's the one that has the correct numbers on it.
No, the admin one is. I went to the PPC with 195, and it was supposed to be 200 days. So the administration version is the correct one, and I would have to go back to PPC to show them that one.
Okay, you corrected it after it went to PPC.
Correct.
Okay, let's stick to this one. We can address the other one. So we have a motion by White, second by Hall. Vote, no discussion. Wynn,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Hall,
Yes.
Jackamore,
No.
Keister, yes. All right, Golden's absent. All right, let's go back to the first action on policy.
Let's, do we need a motion on the PPC version of 3.13?
Yeah, we do.
Mr. Hodges here. Does he want to-
Mr. Hodge, would you like to talk at all? Okay.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we reject the PPC policy 3.13.
I'll have to take the one you just approved back to PPC in the next
Yeah,
10
yeah,
days
10
anyway. So
days.
whatever if you reject this one, it could be because you had to adopt that one, and I can explain all that to you at the PPC when we go back.
And
so
I
can
believe they
Mr. Hodge.
have a time period to respond
10
as well.
days.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so we got a motion to deny the schedule issued by PPC or approved by PPC or voted on. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? All right, vote be Wynn,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Hall,
Yes.
Jackamore,
No.
Jason absent. All right. All right, back on the first part of that action. 3.10 is the one, No, B,
3.33.3.
okay.
Sorry.
Could I have a motion
So
to,
if I can amend the motion that I made, that was, or if I can clarify it, and if there's no objection, that was to adopt the administrative version of that.
are there any objections to the amendment to,
I'm just clarifying that, if that's okay, and then we can just entertain a motion to reject the other one.
all right? Everybody good? All right, I entertain a motion to reject.
The first motion was to the administrative proposal for 3.33.
So we'll entertain a motion to deny the proposed changes from PPC.
So move.
I'll second.
Motion by Barrett, second by Hall. There's no discussion, we'll go to a vote. Wynn,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Hall,
Yes.
Jackamore,
Yes.
Keister, yes. Jason's absent. All right, we made it through that.
Can we just kind of clarify something about the rejecting of proposals from PPC? I think our current administration is working on communication with PPC, and I think there's some good conversations that have been taking place. So I think maybe all the information hasn't been communicated effectively in the past, and I think it's going to get better, and it's not necessarily, I think, and I'm making some assumptions here, but I think some of the assumptions related to putting up a counter proposal was because of maybe a little bit of trust or maybe not having all the information. I value all of the input from PPC because these are board policies. They don't belong to administration. To me, it's the board, and I value everyone's input equally, whether it's administration or the PPC or the CPPC. I think I'm speaking for everyone, hopefully, on the board. But we do value y'all's input and want to see that communication more effectively in the future.
Thanks, Morgan. Anyone else? All right, moving on to personnel. Next item on the agenda is to approve personnel. I don't know which agenda you're looking at. We did add the summer school personnel to this motion, so you'll have certified classified staff resignations, transfers, retirements, employment, and summer school personnel. So are there any questions with those? If there's no questions, entertain a motion to approve all certified and classified staff resignations, transfers, retirements, employment, and summer school personnel.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Mr. White. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Holly. Any discussion? All right, vote. Ms. Wynn?
Yes.
Mr. Barrett?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mrs. Hall, I apologize.
Yes.
Mr. Jackmore?
Yes.
Mr. Keister is yes. Goldman's absent. Unanimous. All right, next, we require ratification of the 2022-23 contracts for classified and certified personnel. Entertain a motion to approve ratification of certified and classified contracts for 2022 and 2023 school year.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Barrett. Do we have a second?
I second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. White. Any other discussion? All right, vote. Mrs. Wynn?
Yes.
Mr. Barrett?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mrs. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Jackmore?
Yes.
Ms. Keister, yes. Golden absent, unanimous. All right. Again, we thank everyone. Also want to congratulate all the teachers and students. If there's not anything else,
Yeah.
we
Do summer school.
we added it to.
I got, I do have one thing.
All right.
Usually we have another, but it's gone. But and this is something we kind of gloss over some of the stuff on consent agenda sometimes. But Mr. White pointed something out a minute ago that I think we need to acknowledge, and that's the food service program. That contract coming up and the work that Justin has done on that, as well as Aramark, and what a benefit it's been to the district from, this board, previous board members that made that a priority. That's something that's, I think, Mr. White could probably speak to it better than I can, but it's something that we should be proud of.
We both were on the board back several years ago where we were not making money. We were losing money, and of course we had to transfer money into that account because you have to by state law. And we tried an avenue that didn't work real well, and thank goodness for Aramark. They brought us to a point that now we are staying above water, and hear good things about our food services, and I think that they work extremely well with the district in trying to make this work. Of course, I realize that probably circumstances and some little funding coming in has influenced this to the point I wished we could go ahead and continue what we're doing another year. I think there's an effort to do that. That'd be great, because more kids are eating now than even back then. That's important to success in school, but I think both of us feel good that was a really big thing. Financially, Aramark has been a very positive to our district.
Thanks, Mr. White. Mr. Board?
There was also on the consent agenda some things that we might just kind of gloss over a little bit, but are really good things, like HOSA Nationals in Nashville. Some of our kids are going to that, and the RHS FBLA are going to leadership conference in Chicago, and I think Ms. Magnus is here. She knows all about that. But these are some good opportunities that our kids go to. Sometimes you think about that one of our students may not have even been out of Arkansas. You know, when I was in high school, I had not been. And so these opportunities to do this is really part of their education. So I'm really glad that we're able to do this.
Could I make just, I know you want to end the year on a good note, and I know there's some positive things still to come about, but, you know, the opportunity there to go to graduation the other day, to think about what those students have been through, that they, you know, had to go home their 10th grade year. And a lot of them virtual their junior year, masks for a long time, how they were impacted, but the fact that they themselves finished out on such a good note. Of course, there are other students involved, but this district should celebrate having a good year. From my viewpoint, personally, I think it's been a super good year. Some good things have happened. One, we've had safe schools. We have not had instances in our schools. Our kids have been safe. You know, our buses have run good and got our kids to school, but just the recognitions that we have, and I don't think, you know, the old expression, toot our horn enough, but we've had some articles in there, but just recently, I mean, we have a team in the state tournament. Think about, we're probably one of the best robotics schools in the state. I mean, that's elementary all the way up. Project Lead the Way schools in the state. Of course, our Quiz Bowl team, 6 in a row. But sneaking in there, I don't say sneaking in there, but the choir, y'all, probably a lot of y'all have not been there, because, I mean, I think there's a choir concert tonight, probably, but, I mean, phenomenal choirs, but I don't want to misquote, but I believe Mr. Boyd told me that, told us that we were in the 6A classification, best female choir, best male choir, best chamber choir, best overall choir in 6A. And I mean, basically, we won everything but the kitchen sink at the state festival. And they ranked them up against other schools to the point that we're ranked tied for second in the state of Arkansas in choirs. I mean, so, I mean, they're just, we've had elementary schools recognize a lot of our people, because of the success, are going to have an opportunity to go to some summer training, and I appreciate them going. Grants are producing good, but sorry for talking so much, but, you know, it's just, you know, it was really feel good to be at that graduation, to be at Celebration of Excellence and all of the other activities, but I think we've had a great year. It just makes me look forward to the next one.
I think I'm not nearly as eloquent as Mr. White in speaking. But, you know, what I got out of that is, you know, it's easy to take things close to you for granted and overlook it, and we probably do that a lot. I mean, we're spoiled here. It's a great school that we overlook a lot of stuff. And some people focus on the negatives because it gets the most press or gets the most reactions instead of the positive stuff. But there's so much positive stuff in this district. And again, it's because y'all, we're here one day, you know, one day a month for these meetings. Well, actually more. But you know, it's all attributable to the leaders and the teachers and every other employee in the district. It's impressive, especially, you know, people that get outside the district and see what else is out there. We've got great opportunities here, especially for all the children. It's amazing.
Proud to be a Cyclone.
Yeah, go Cyclones.
Yeah, go Cyclones, Al. Hey, I just want to mention it since they're mentioning this, but Melissa, we just appreciate you. Every time we've been to that office these past couple weeks, several times a week, you're running around making things happen, and we do appreciate, I do really appreciate you. So anyway, good good day. Have a great rest of the year. Impact somebody's life one more time. And we appreciate you. Meeting's adjourned.